Hello, my name is Beth Dixon, and this is a video series based on Vicki Borlaug's PowerPoint presentation on hypothesis testing for the mean using p-values. I wish to thank Mrs. Borlaug for allowing me to use her PowerPoint to make this set of videos. And how do we use p-values to do hypothesis testing? Well, the basis of this is if the p is less than alpha, then we reject HO. That means if the p is less than alpha, we have an unusual situation. If the p is greater than alpha, then we do not reject HO. If the p is greater than alpha, it is ordinary. A way to help you to remember this is the rhyme that Mrs. Borlaug came up with. If the p is low, the null must go. If the p is high, we let it fly. Let's go on to our next example. And Mrs. Borlaug has called this example 1. Lengths of pregnancies, full term, are normally distributed. A random sample of 12 pregnancies is taken and their lengths in days are given below. Using a 0.10 level of significance, test the claim that the mean length of pregnancy is greater than 265 days. And we have the data as 256, 272, 256, 270, 264, 283, 282, 253, 269, 262, 270, and 282. So we're going to set up the null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis, and that'll be part A. So to do that, we want to look at the phrase again, test the claim. Test the claim what? That the mean length of pregnancies is greater than 265 days. That is what we're looking to prove, and it does not contain the condition of equality. Therefore, it goes in the alternate hypothesis H1. The null hypothesis then is the opposite of that and will be less than or equal to 265 days. So we have the null hypothesis as the mu less than or equal to 265 and the alternate as the mu greater than 265. We want to state then the alpha values and the p-values. The alpha value is the significance level given in the problem at 0.10 level of significance. The p-value comes from our t-test results from the calculator, and we can see that that was given to us on the screen as 0.1527. Now we need to circle the correct answer. Are we going to reject HO or do not reject HO? Well, the p is high, so we will let it fly because it is an ordinary value. That means we do not reject. And since we do not reject, our sentence says, using a 0.10 level of significance, there is not enough evidence, or there is not evidence to say that the mean length of pregnancy is greater than 265 days. Let's look at example number 2. The length of time to change a tire is normally distributed. A random sample of 10 tire changes is taken and their time in minutes are given below. Using a 0.05 level of significance, test the claim that the mean time to change a tire is less than 25 minutes. So we have 18.9, 22.8, 24.6, 20.5, 24.8, 20.1, 21.5, 28.8, 20.3, and 24. Next, we want to set up the null and alternate hypothesis. First, we want to look at the phrase that starts with test the claim. Test the claim what? That the mean time to change a tire is less than 25 minutes. So our alternate hypothesis will be that mu is less than 25. That gives us then for the null hypothesis the opposite of that statement, which is that the mean is greater than or equal to 25. Next, Part B asks us to state the alpha value and the p-value. The alpha value comes from our problem. It says using a 0.05 level of significance. That is our alpha value. So we have an alpha of 0.05. The p-value will come as a result of our t-test that we did on our calculator. The results are shown here on the right. And that p-value is given as 0.0166. And we do round that to 4 decimal places. Next, we want to circle the correct answers. Remember our rhyme. If the p is low, the null must go. If the p is high, we let it fly. So is the p lower or less than the alpha, or is the p greater than alpha? The p is lower or less than alpha. The p is low. So the null must go. We must reject HO. And that gives us a sentence to interpret our results using since we're using a 0.05, so using a 0.05 level of significance, there is evidence to say that the mean length of time for a tire change is less than 25 minutes. At this point, I'm going to stop here and keep these videos short, and we will begin our next example in the next video. Thank you for watching.